Hey guys, so you can probably tell from the title of this video, this is going to be my everyday foundation routine. This is going to be my very first tutorial that I've ever done on YouTube, so I apologize in advance if I make mistakes or I'm not totally looking right at you the whole time because this is my first tutorial. And I will tell you guys in advance, if you haven't noticed already, I clearly film off of a webcam. I do not have a separate camera that I use to film, so I realize that the quality of this isn't going to be the best, but in terms of products that I use and the techniques that I have in putting my foundation on, you'll at least get to see that, and hopefully the quality won't be too horrendous that you can't see it at all. So I'm going to walk you through the products that I use, the couple of brushes that I use, kind of the order of application and how I apply it. And this would be like, for example, today is it's Sunday, it's a low-key day. I'm just going to be kind of hanging out, maybe running some errands later, but nothing too major. So this is more than I would actually wear for a day like today. Today I would probably put on some tinted moisturizer and be done. But this is my like everyday Monday through Friday work routine makeup that I would wear if we're going out somewhere. I would do at least this basic application and then maybe add a few more products. And I'm just going to do foundation. I'm not doing blush. I'm not doing bronzer, highlighter, contouring, none of that. I just want to get kind of the basic foundation out of the way because my goal is to do additional tutorials. And then when I say to you, I've already applied foundation, you will know what that means and kind of how much stuff I've actually already put on my face. So most everything that I have here is from the drugstore, to include the brushes that I use, except for two products. And even the two products that I'm using, you can definitely substitute anything else that you already have in your collection that you can use. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I hope that you guys enjoy this video and find it helpful. So I've already washed my face and moisturized my face. I have normal to dry skin, so I do typically put on well, not typically, every day I put on moisturizer and then I'll apply a primer, or if I'm putting a tinted moisture on over that, I still find that I have to put on a regular facial moisturizer just because otherwise my face just gets too dry and flaky throughout the day. Or if I do that a few days in a row, by the third day my face is not good. So I've already done all of that. So the first product that I'm going to use is the Rimmel Fix and Perfect Pro Face Primer. This you can get at Target. It was like $5 or $6, I think. It's a 1 ounce tube. You don't need a ton, and it's just got just a squeezy tube. So I'm just gonna squirt a little bit out on my finger, just like that. And I do use my finger to apply, so I just kind of put this all over my face where I would want it, and then I just rub it in. And this, I'm sure you all know what primer is for, but it just primes the face and kind of fills in any lines, wrinkles, and kind of covers up your pores a little bit. This does have a slight, almost like, I want to say sunscreen type smell to it, but it doesn't smell bad, and it certainly doesn't last. So I just go over my face to make sure that it's all completely rubbed in, and now my face is ready for primer. Or excuse me, for my foundation. So I'm just going to put the cover back on that. It says 002, but as you clearly saw, this was white. It has no color to it, so I'm not really sure, but I love this. This stuff is amazing, and for $6, you really can't beat it. And then I'm going to use my foundation, which is just the classic Revlon Colorstay. I've used this for years, and my shade is the shade 150 Buff, which you might kind of look at me and look at the bottle and think, really, are you sure? Yes, I'm sure. I love this. I've used this since it first came out practically when I was in high school, and now my fingers are all gooped up and I can't get the cover off. But anyways, like I said, you can just get this at your local Target, Walmart, CVS, wherever. It's drugstore. So I just kind of shake it up and then get a little bit there, and I put that on my face, and then I'll do like that. And then I take a third dab and do kind of that. So you can see I have it dotted on my cheeks, my forehead, my nose, and my chin. So, and then I take one of two brushes. So I have a Sigma F80 flat kabuki brush that I like to use for my foundation, or I have a Real Techniques buffing brush that I like to use for my foundation. The Sigma brush you can get at sigma.com. The Real Techniques brush you can get on Amazon, which is where I got all of mine, or you can get them at Ulta. For today's purposes, I am going to use the Real Techniques brush. So then I just take the brush and I just kind of buff it all over my face. I don't have a mirror set up here, so I'm kind of using the viewfinder on my webcam as my mirror. So So yeah, I just buff that all over in a circular motion and just kind of get it all over my face. I do go up underneath the eye area with my foundation. I know a lot of people will tell you no and that they don't do it, and they have pretty valid reasons as to why they don't. But I do, and this is just how I do my foundation. I don't really have a reason as to why, other than, I guess, for me personally, I don't really have horrible, horrible under eye circles anymore. And so I don't have a ton to conceal under there, I guess. And I'm not wearing that much foundation where I feel like it's a big deal. And then as you just saw me do there, I will put some foundation. It's not a ton. I'm just kind of, as I'm buffing it out, over my eyelids to act as a base for eyeshadow or a base for primer potion that I will put on there. And I just kind of go at this until everything is smoothly blended into my face and just feels like we're good. I do go a little bit underneath the jawline there and just kind of make sure everything is blended out. And then generally when I'm all done completely with my face for the day, I will take a tissue and kind of blend out along the jawline just to make sure that there's no hard lines or anything right there, because that drives me nuts when I see women with clear foundation lines around their jawline. It's just ridiculous. I'm like, really, can't you blend that? You don't see that there, really? The concealer that I will use, even though I just told you how I don't really have dark under eye circles, but I've picked this up because my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind under eye concealer is empty. And so I picked this up at the drugstore, and I am in love with this product. I have another CoverGirl and Olay concealer balm, and it's amazing. And this is the under eye concealer, and I have it in the shade 205. They have two things. They have an eye concealer and then they have an eye corrector, and I didn't really understand what the difference was, so I went with the eye concealer. This was $10.99, but you get, it's 0.3 ounces, but it's a lot of product, and it's just a little concealer pot. And you'll see on the inside there, there's the white Olay serum and then mixed with the concealer. So I just take my ring finger here and just take a teeny tiny bit of product in my hand, and I will put it right there, and then I just blend it out with my finger. I have found, for me personally, for the under eye area, that blending out with my finger just works better. If I have a blemish or scar or, I don't know, scratch or something on my face that I'm trying to cover up, I will use a concealer brush with the concealer for that. But for under eyes, I don't know, maybe I just haven't tried the right brush, but I just feel like my fingers work better, I guess. I don't know. Alright, so I can't super tell if that's really, really blended, but from what I can see, it looks for the most part like it is. This is just really creamy, and I don't find that it like settles into the lines or anything. Like, again, when I'm done doing my entire face of makeup, I will take my ring finger and just lightly kind of run it underneath there just to make sure, because as you kind of put the rest of your face on, I do find that makeup does tend to settle slightly in those lines, but in terms of once I've done that and then throughout the day, that doesn't happen again. So then the last step in my foundation routine is to set my foundation with a powder. I've used pressed powders before, I've used loose powders before, but currently my favorite setting powder is by Mark, and it is the Set Things Right loose powder in light. These are pretty new. They just came out earlier this year, and I know a lot of people will see these and think, oh, mineral foundation. These are not mineral foundations. They are a loose setting powder. So you'll see there, you can kind of see how the powder sifts through, and then, so I just take it and I apply it like Bare Minerals, I guess, but I just get a little bit in the lid. You can kind of see there. And then I take my e.l.f. Kabuki brush and just kind of swirl it in there, tap off the excess, and then I just put it all over my forehead. I will put a little bit on my eyelids, and put it on my nose, and then I will take a little bit more. I just put a little bit in at a time because you can always add more, but you can't always, it's not easy to take off. And then I put it on my chin. Because although I have mostly dry to normal skin, I would say that I do still get a little bit of shininess in my T-zone area. So forehead, nose, and chin. So I do just like to set my makeup there with that. And so that's it, guys. That is my total foundation routine for the day. So now I would go on and put on some blush, do my eye makeup, and put on my lip gloss, lipstick, whatever I'm wearing for the day, and be done. So you can kind of see there, it just was a really easy, very basic routine to just kind of even everything out and kind of cover up any minor imperfections, dark circles or shadows that I have, and just kind of even it all out and kind of give it the canvas to say, okay, now what kind of a look am I trying to create for the day? So I hope you enjoyed this. I hope you found it helpful. If you have any questions about any of the products I used, please check in the info box below because I will list them all, including the 2 brushes that I mentioned for my face. Everything, like I said, you can purchase at the drugstore. The Mark powder you'd have to buy from a Mark rep, and the Sigma brushes you would have to buy from either Sigma.com or go to their store at Mall of America and pick them up. Otherwise, you can get everything else, like I said, at Ulta or Target or Walgreens, Walmart, whatever. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a good day. See you later, guys. Bye.